So following Hasbro's latest Pulse Fanstream event last month, there's a few new Marvel Legends figures that were available for PO this week. This includes a couple new Spider-Man and really amazing X-Force figures making our way soon. So let's take a deeper dive preview and see if any of these figures are worth picking up. Hey, what's up guys? So welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be diving into the 4 new figures coming out soon from Hasbro Marvel Legends. These figures were recently announced during the February Pulse Fanstream event last month, which featured the Spider-Man 2 Gamerverse Wave. Now, following that announcement, there were a couple of new additional figures that we can actually pair right now. This includes Spider-Man figures, which are made up of Spider-Man 77 and Spirit Spider. Now, these are both Walmart exclusives, so you can only pick them up from that one Hasbro partner, and unfortunately nowhere else. And the other 2 new figures include folks from the X-Force team, which are updated versions of these characters, right? These include Archangel and an awesome new 2-pack that include both Warpath and X-23 together. So I'm really excited to see how these figures turn out in hand. Let's dive more into their previews individually. So first up, let's get more into the new Spidey Walmart exclusive figure, Spider-Man 77. Now this is a new figure release based off of the design from the 1977 Spider-Man movie. Now this is a really interesting figure and glad that Hasbro actually went all the way back to the 70s movies verse to release this version of him. Peter's figure design here is definitely noticeable though in terms of his molding and features. His body sculpt is based off the TOEI Spider-Man figure, but I believe he comes with like a new head, belt, and web shooter. Now, the original TOEI Spider-Man figure here is indeed similar to the current one, but does have some updated features to it. The mold itself looks somewhat interesting because I feel like it is lacking some articulation points. Like the toe movement here looks very limited, unfortunately, so you won't be able to get all of the lower level ground type of pose work done. But the rest of his body looks pretty solid. Like he has that standard articulation throughout the arms, legs. Also, the ab crunch area, torso swivel look pretty good. So, generally speaking, the articulation is okay from what we can see. Paint applications look really solid as well. The blue and red are more vibrant and less muted. The silver and black on his eyes look pretty good and prominent as well. Like you know who this is and that he's an OG Spider-Man the second you take a look at his eyes, right? The belt and web shooters also looks like they're standing out pretty well. They feature that classic look to them with a translucent type of white. Molding of them look okay, nothing too fancy, but I guess it does model the original design from the 70s, so really can't hate on that. Right now, in terms of the accessories, he comes with a pair of alternate hand molds, 2 open web effects. Now, these are really pretty cool because they vary in sizes, so you can pick and choose, right? Which is better for you. He does only come with 1 web shooter, however, and no long webs. But again, Hasbro is staying true to the original model design, which is good. So generally speaking, a good new Spider-Man 77 figure, which is definitely worthy of your collection, especially if you're a fan of that old film and or exclusive Spidey figs, right? Next up, let's get more into the other exclusive Walmart figure, which is Spirit Spider. Now, unless you're an avid Marvel Comics reader, this was an interesting choice by Hasbro because this figure is based off a relatively unknown version of Spidey. Spirit Spider is based off of the Spider-Man outfit from the Incredible Hulk's annual #1, where it was done by Peter Parker going by the name of Ghost Spider in that universe, right? Now, that universe, I believe, was Earth 11638, where Peter's actually killed, then resurrected by the universe's Spirit of Vengeance. Later on, he was also renamed to Spirit Spider, so it's a nice little interesting origin story for this figure. Now, in terms of the design itself, the body mold looks alright, but the shape proportions do feel a little off to me. Like, I feel like his lower rib to waist area look really flat in terms of the actual dimensions. Otherwise, where the details really shine are the skull and the flame head. The skull looks really good in terms of the molding details along with the teeth that give it a nice carved out feel to it. I also like how you can kind of look into the eye sockets while staring at the figure, which at times kind of feels creepy, like, you know, this dude is ready to do a pen and stare on you or something. So really nice head mold there. The blue flaming hair also came out really good in terms of the coloring and mold itself, but the positioning of it does feel a little strange. I feel like it overextends just a little bit in certain areas, especially around the side of the head, but overall not too bad. The rest of the body looks alright and color tones are pretty good and blend in well. I like how they were able to merge the 3 different colors together and looks pretty seamless overall. Now, in terms of accessories, it only comes with 2 additional hand molds, so 3 in total. So really nothing special from that end, unfortunately. But otherwise, the figure is pretty cool if you want like a more obscure version of Spidey. And he'll probably look really cool when he's paired up near Ghost Rider, right? Next up, let's take a closer look at the two new X-Force figures available for PO. So this includes both Archangel as well as the Warpath and X-23 two-pack. First one up here rather is the awesome new Archangel. Now this is a newly updated reissue from the 2013 version and features Archangel in his black X-Force costume. And fellas, I gotta say, he looks really amazing so far, right? Warren's updated figure design here is definitely noticeable in terms of the colors, body molding, and head sculpt. Right, the body mold looks pretty solid so far from what I'm seeing, but unfortunately, he still doesn't have those butterfly joints up front. I know it's likely due to the design of the wings placement. However, I'm still surprised that Hasbro hasn't been able to solve this yet. Otherwise, the rest of the body looks pretty solid so far. Like standard articulation throughout the arms and legs. Looks like he has good ab crunch and torso swivel as well. And pretty good articulation, generally speaking. So you'll be able to get him into those flight action poses pretty easily, which is good. Pin applications look really solid as well. Really like the updated black paint along with that silver. Now the silver on his chest area does feature a more sheen effect, which is cool. Where the rest of the silver is a little more muted. The head sculpt looks really good as well. The blue stands out really well across the board. Also features some elevated sculpting there around the top and side of his head down to his jawline. So it looks really solid and really adds a nice detailed look to it. Now, in terms of the wings, they look really amazing so far. They're not as highly detailed from the model depicted by Diamond Select figure. However, they have a pretty solid design to them. The wings also feature a more flat sculpt, meaning that you only have the clean cuts and lines through them. But generally speaking, they look pretty good. They also feature some nice articulation to them and have a couple of different modular connections, so you'll be able to flap them open and close pretty easily. Now, in terms of accessories, he comes with those Archangel wings, a pair of alternate hand molds, and the two head molds. Right now, I'm glad they were able to include these two head molds because they do feature two different looks. Right, the screaming expression looks really cool. You can really see the details on his mouth sculpting. So really great job there by Hasbro, and again, how they're able to include two different ones. So overall, an excellent updated X4 Archangel figure, and really can't wait to get my hands on him. And last one available for pre-order now is the amazing X-Force 2-pack featuring both Warpath and X-23. And I absolutely love this new 2-pack. I'm glad we're getting updated box of these two figures. You know, Warpath and Laura's design really look to be on point from the original X-Force comics, which is good. Warpath uses, though, that original Omega Red scale body, and it's like a larger, more muscular mold that really pops out at the top shirt area. It looks like he has a lot of decent articulation right off the bat, including those butterfly joints and some good swivels, but he is a pin-based figure, so some of his articulation won't be as modern feeling, unfortunately. Otherwise, the design of this figure is really good, like in the muted black and gray used throughout the actual costume itself. You know, his head mold looks really solid as well. Good angry expression to his face, and the hair is really sculpted good. Like has nice flow and good length to it past his chin area as well, right? Now, in terms of the accessories, he comes with one additional pair of hand molds and those really badass Warpath knives with his. So no additional head sculpts, but good symmetrical feel and size of the actual Warpath knives, right? And it is a really solid figure overall, in my opinion. Now with X23, aka Laura, she features the more slim body mold and has some updated parts to her, so definitely less pins, which is good. Coloring design looks similar and on point to the comics counterpart. The head sculpt looks really solid. I like the open mouth expression here and nice details on her face. Hair mold also looks pretty good and decent length to the actual hair itself, and gives you actually feel to it, especially if you have her in more dynamic poses, which is good. The adamantium claws look all right, nothing major there, but are both positioned well on her hands and feet. Now, in terms of accessories, she features two head sculpts, including a maskless one. Now, this one looks really solid so far, in my opinion. You can really see her facial details there, especially if you want her mask off, which is nice. Also comes with 3 total pairs of hand molds, so you can easily swap out the adamantium ones if you feel like reducing her rage look a little. And overall, a solid 2-pack for both of them. It's a shame though that like the Warpath figure wasn't updated as much as X23, but again, it's still a great set overall and auto PO for me for sure. So there you have it, folks. Thanks for joining me today as we explore the 4 new Marvel Legends figures from the February Hasbro event that are available for PO now. As a reminder, both Spider-Man 77 and Spirit Spider are Walmart exclusives, so you have to pick them up directly from that one partner. The X-Force and Archangel figures are fan channel exclusive as well, meaning there's a lot more partners that will have it available for PO though, so it'll surely be easier to pick up versus the 2 Spider figures from Walmart. So be sure to PO these right away if you plan on picking them up at all, because they'll probably sell out fast. And let me know in comments below which of these figures really stand out to you, if you've been able to pre-order them at all or not. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more content and the coolest Marvel figures around. Until next time, folks, keep on collecting.